And that means pulling out a weapon and put two at center mass. You'll reduce recidivism, won't you?
Hey, it's Alonzo Bodden with another Rebel HQ TYT video. And talk is cheap, and Troy Nehls knows about it. Well, I guess talk is cheap unless it's paid for by the NRA. Let's listen.
I would encourage your residents in the great state of Texas and my county to defend yourself. Defend yourself. You are given that God-given right. And that means pulling out a weapon and put two at center mass. You'll reduce recidivism, won't you? And you won't have a repeat offender.
Just another bully talking tough. This guy Nehls is a clown. He was fired by a police department for violating rules, and I'm betting some of those rules had to do with bullying and violence. Yeah, just put two shots center mass. Oh, it sounds easy, but why doesn't he ask his cops at Uvalde how easy it is for, a good guy with a gun to take out a bad guy with a gun? The reality is it's not that easy to shoot under pressure. And let's talk about what constitutes a threat, because too often just being black or brown is a threat, which we learned with Ralph Yarl, a 16-year-old kid in Missouri who was shot for knocking on the wrong door. Yeah, was he a threat, Troy? No. Listen, this kind of ignorant posturing, it isn't funny, it isn't cute, it's stupid, and it's dangerous, and it's getting people killed. Don't take my word for it. Listen to Jordan Klepper, an expert on MAGA logic.
You can convince somebody to change ideas. You can have discussions over what people want. You can't have discussions over who people are. And what Trump has done is he's made the MAGA hat a symbol of who he is and who they are. And so you put that thing on, you don't believe in those ideas, you believe this represents you.
Jordan Klepper has made a living making fun of Trumpers at rallies. There's no one better at it, and he has learned how the MAGAs think. And he's right. They do identify with the red hat. Now, I don't know if they think the MAGA hat makes them the same as the New York billionaire who has inherited wealth, or they think that the New York billionaire who has inherited wealth is just like them. Either way, Trump has mastered it. He's formed a cult, and they follow him. And it's all fun and games. It's funny. But then they start to identify with the guns, and that's when it gets dangerous. Jordan will explain.
And I was talking with a gun rights advocate, Ryan Bussey, recently, and he equated the MAGA hat with the AR-15. And so we look at this gun culture we're a part of, and you have discussions of how do we lower these casualties. And you bring up something like assault weapons, and what they've trickily done is they've made the AR-15 a new MAGA hat. So you can't debate whether or not that is something a child should have, because now that's become a point of pride and a point of identity. And that to me is something that is really hard to change.
Unfortunately, Jordan's right. Because once you reach the point that you identify with the AR-15, when the AR-15 defines who you are, well, now we can't take away your AR-15 because we'd be taking away who you are. And we can't regulate it because you have freedom. And above all, we can't blame the AR-15 because even when it's used to kill kids in schools, that would be blaming you.
Little Miss Addie, who is almost 2, and Branch, who's just a few months old, they have brought us so much joy. They've brought us purpose. Now, Addie, who, soon will need them, I want to reassure you, she already has a shotgun and she already has a rifle. And she's got a little pony named Sparkles, too, so the girl is set up.
Nah, the NRA and MAGA and whatever else you want to call it have done a masterful job of the ultimate us versus them, where they are trying to take my gun. I don't even know what the logic is. I know it's not working. I know people are dying, and I know they're willing to die to protect it, to protect a gun. God bless America. Thanks, Jordan.